I paid 5 designers to design the same logo. Let's see what they did. Okay, so Fiverr have come to me and asked if I'll take part in the Fiverr challenge, which is where I basically have $1,000 to spend on Fiverr. I get to choose different designers and basically get them to design a logo. So I thought it would be really fun and interesting and insightful to see what would happen if I was to get 5 designers from different price points, all the way from $40 to something like $500, and see the differences between the same logo brief that I give to them. Now be warned, this brief is very short, and it was intentionally short to leave it kind of vague so they could have a bit more creative expression in their work. So Mindscape, a guided meditation app primarily with additional Zen music features, calming sounds to help you focus, and a gentle wake-up alarm. This is a fake app, by the way, but there are similar ones online. I'd like you to create a logo for the above company, Mindscape. It's an app, so the logo would need to be appropriate for an app icon, so that's a big one. The logo would also have to work well outside of the App Store, as the idea would be to use it as the main logo on a website for Mindscape. So basically, I've told the designers that this logo is about creating an app, but it's also a website that will work standalone as well. So the logo has to work really well in the app for the App Store and really well online. So it would have to have basically a typographic element to it as well for it to work online and for it to be easily distinguished and branded. This is my thought process going into it. Mariland, let's have a look at your work. So Mariland sent all of these. So we're going to look through a couple of them. We're going to first look through this one here. So this is Mindscape, his first sort of look, and there wasn't much of an explanation with this. I made a few options for you to look at. Most of the ideas play on M or MS with relaxing or Zen elements. I can definitely see how the M is in there with the mountains, which is cleverly done, and it is very Zen, but I think, in my opinion, it's a bit too cliche for the market that we're going with, because you haven't looked at the app side to it. But yes, the logo does work and it's really pretty and very Zen. The second version that he gave was this one here, which is this really kind of like futuristic look, and I kind of like this one because it is, you can see the M in there as well. It's a bit more modern. It fit with the brief ever so slightly more. Another one from Mario Land, let's have a look. He's given us a lot of different concepts here actually, which is very nice to see all these different ideas, and it's an M and an S all together creating this sort of human that is meditating cross-legged, which I really dig. I really like that one. I think it was very clever, geometric as well. I think you could have like cleaned up some of the lines here when you were doing it, maybe use the pen tool and just make it so it's just ever so slightly more precise. But the idea was there, and the actual typeface as well worked quite well with it. I think you could have maybe gone in a different direction with the typeface, but the icon, the logo itself, it looks really good. I ended up choosing though this version here, but I asked him in the actual response, I said this, thanks for the concepts, concept 2 would work the best for the app icon. I would love to see what you can do without the birds so we can get rid of any details that would be visible inside the small app icon. And I said increase the tracking in the logo type as well. So I physically told him what to do. I told Mario what to do with this, and this is what he came up with. So it looks miles better, the icon. Now the only problem with this logo type here is that the tracking is being tracked so much that it's not kerned anymore. So you'd have to like go ahead and kern it a bit so it's a bit more together. You can see the C and the A are just way too far apart there. But that icon there for what, $40 is what Mario charged for this, which is insane. $40. You get what you're given, you know, it's amazing. You get all these different ideas and concepts. Okay, so number 2, we'll go for this guy called K-Fall Designs, and this one cost me $70. So this is a $70 logo design, and it came up with concepts as well. So I gave them the same exact brief, answered the questions that they wanted, and here is the first look at the logo concept. So we've got it here. We've got Mindscape in this, Again, a very cliche look of these leaves that they use with someone, you know, literally meditating in the middle of it, which isn't a bad thing. It's just very cliche and it might not fit well in an icon. We'll scroll down. Some of these are very similar. This one's got like a music note in it. I'm not too sure why there's a music note in there, but there you go. And she sort of stayed within the bounds of these sort of leaves. But the one that caught my attention was this one down here because it was in an app icon and I could see it worked, but the leaves are sort of sticking outside of it, which doesn't work within the bounds of an app icon. So I asked for her to choose that app icon and to go ahead and change a few things about it with the depth and the colors. And this is what she did. She created a more flat look because there was too much going on in the middle of the first one. And there you go, she's done it. But the problem there is that it just looks, she just got rid of all of the lines, which is not what I was trying to explain. For $70, it matches the brief really well. The colors are teal, which aren't boring. They're very calm and nice. They breathe an ocean of freshness to you when you look at it. So I like the typography as well. It works well. So that was K-Fall Designs with $70. The next one is A6 Design at $135. You know, it doesn't sound like much, so I wasn't expecting a lot. But then I got this. I first opened up a PDF with this shown to me, which is obviously the logo, which looks really cool. And I'm like, wow, there's an M and an S in there for Mindscape. And there's a landscape with someone sat on it, which shows me instantly that this guy's instantly grabbed the attention of what we're talking about. So he's grabbing me with the idea that I gave to him, which is good. He's presenting it. Then not only does he just present the work, just like giving me the logo, he actually shows me what he did. And he shows this is the mark construction, and we see the meditation plus the M, and he's highlighting it for us, as you can see here, the M plus the 3-piece Zen, which is those rocks I was talking about, create this. But not only that, he shows the grid setup as well, which is huge. It shows you how he designed it and it gives you a bit more appreciation to the process. And then he's also done it in negative shapes, and he's gone ahead and basically given me the actual typeface that we should be using for it as well by just putting it there. Even here, he's showing us there, changing the original type, lining the height of the letters, applied visual kerning, curving the endpoints in order to create a visual balance when used in combination with the mark. So not only did he create the mark, he actually modified a logo type. So he basically created a custom logo type to fit with the mark to make it work correctly. And this is what we got. For $135, that is awesome. But it doesn't stop there. He goes ahead and gives me this, which is the app icon. It shows that it works within there with the grids. It has also got the different sizing to prove that it works in different app stores and apps and favecons. Then he gives some promotional posters here as well. He also shows some t-shirt designs. Like, I'm actually blown away. For $135, this is insane. So that was A6 Design for $135, which they're only getting better and better from now. So the next one is from Logo Business at $295. So you can see here on his first look, he gives me this here, and this shows me what he's been doing. And it's in low quality, mind you, because obviously you don't need to be in high quality, but I did give some feedback to this because this is the logo here. As you can see, it looks nice. I like the way that he's gone in a different approach, which is to do with more of like a medallion look. And he went really focused into the idea of an app icon. But not only that, he shows the working here on the side as well, creating symmetry and balance, which he's really gone on the Zen part of this. Now, I liked this, but I said to him, I really like the form. The colors seem to be slightly on the feminine side, maybe a change from baby blue to something a bit less desaturated. And in the end, we got this one here. So we got these different color combinations here with the little yellow pips, which is very clever to do because it gives you that idea of the brand. It gives you something to market as the brand, makes the logo type something that works standalone. And we've got these different color combinations. So when I asked him if if he could, you know, change the color of it, because I kind of liked the logo. It was really good. He changed it, you know, and I like it. I think the only thing I don't like is the amount of detail inside it. If you add more detail in a logo, especially something like this, it doesn't work as well as something as reducing it down. But at the same time, it's very difficult to do because you've got to work within the app icon as well. And then here we go. Here's the final one that he gave because I chose my color. He's shown me in its full color capabilities. And then he's also shown me down here the one in the negative, and they both work like a charm. I like them. The only gripe I would have with this is when presenting the icon, maybe bring the icon down a little bit so it fits in the same realm as the typography. So here's the last designer, and this is Dano Vega, who, might I remind you, has designed everything on here from the same brief, and he costs $450. So by now I've spent like basically $1,000 on the platform. So I give him the same brief and the same everything, and this is what he comes up with. You see this? Mindscape. He created this. When I first looked at it, I was like, that is crazy amount of depth inside of an app icon, which always works. If you ever look at a good app icon that does well, it's either really 2D, designed very well, or it's got a bit of depth to it, something that can work in an app, which I thought, you know, this is insane. I said it's probably a bit too sleepy. It looks too much like a sleeping app because of the color tone. I was like, could you try and brighten it up or make it, you know, a bit more saturated so it doesn't look like a sleeping app? He also created ones like this over here, which I liked as well, but they seemed a bit too zen for me. This one here kind of looked like an aeroplane, so I didn't want to go for it, but I did like the concept. Again, all of them were really good. After I tell him that I needed the color changed ever so slightly, he comes ahead and he gives me 5 different revisions of this, different choices, and also he changes the typeface, which I also asked for. Again, this one's good, but it does seem more sleepy, which isn't something that I wanted, but the app icon works really well. It would look awesome in neumorphic design. And it's insane, the amount of depth and detail. He's actually inverted the shadows and everything from the other way to give it more of an illusion of being awake. I think it looks more like morning to me now. So the one thing that I'm asking myself during this process is whether the logo fits. Is it appropriate? So does it match the goals and the brief that I've set? And does it work in an app? Does it fit? Is it large enough? Does it compete with other app icons and designs out there? And of course, this one definitely does. So at $450 to get all of that work in just a few days without having too much conversation is pretty insane. So guys, there you go. There you have it. Those are like the 5 designers who I gave the same brief to, who designed the same thing basically, but in different ways. All the way from $40 to $450 in a total of me spending $1,000 to do this, which is pretty insane. If you'd like to learn a bit more about Fiverr and all of the different designers that I've featured today, then click the link down below. They'll be featured there in the link. Click on it, check them out, see their work, and check out Fiverr whilst you're at it. It's an amazing place to get really affordable services for your business. But if you'd like to, you can go ahead and do your own gigs on Fiverr if you wanted to. If you're a logo designer, someone who wants to share the love of creating or just gaining experience in the design industry, Fiverr is a good place to go. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next week or the next video. Goodbye.